Hey there everyone, this is Jamil from JM Notary Services. It has been a little while since I have left a video on my channel. Like everyone else, we need to take out time for ourselves. We need to wind down. And so that's the reason why I decided to take a little bit of a break. I needed a little bit of a break in life. It happens and that's okay. I just want to stress the importance of taking time out for yourself. So with that, today I would like to talk about the 3-day notice of right to cancel when you have a reader. All right. And what I mean by that is that every now and then you'll get signers who want to read every single document. I'm talking every single document, even the deed of trust. It is within their right to read these documents. However, they have 3 days to cancel. So generally, the 3-day notice of right to cancel, which should be the date that you're doing the actual signing, it should be that date. And the 3 days should be 3 business days afterwards, which is towards the bottom portion of that form. You'll see the date that's within that box, if there is a box for the 3-day notice of right to cancel. And you will get out your rescission calendar. I use the NNA, the National Notary Association's rescission calendar, to get the proper dates. All right. So generally, this form kind of saves you from a reader. So when you get a reader, all right, you'll know. And generally they will, like I said, want to read every single document. They want to ask you, what's this? And I'm going to tell you about my experience in just a minute. All right. But I just want to set the tone for this video. Generally, you can explain to the reader, listen, you have your copies here, because we have to make a second copy depending on the lender, depending on the situation. We supply them with a second copy, their copy, the exact replica of what they're signing, right? So, and generally we tell them, I tell them, listen, you have 3 days to cancel. You can go through these documents after I leave. You can review them. And if you have any questions, you can call your lender. And I always say this at the table, which every loan signing agent should already know. We don't discuss figures or numbers. That is strictly for the lender. If there's lender documents, if there's anything with the title, that's for title, any numbers or figures. All right. So, a couple of days ago, and I'm sorry, you guys, there's some construction going on next to me. I'm sorry, I have no control over that. So bear with me while I'm speaking to you today. So a couple of days ago, I had a reader. It was a very nice couple. All right. And, the guy goes, he wanted to read so he said, you don't know about this, do you? So generally, and what I didn't do generally is I put down the notary, the ethical practice card that I have in one of my other videos. My first video, you'll see that in my first video. I usually put that on the table because it explains that we are notary publics. We don't explain figures or numbers. We're not attorneys. That it doesn't say numbers or figures, but it stipulates we're not attorneys. We can't answer any questions pertaining to the numbers. It gives a whole ethical synopsis for loan signing agents. All right. And so I didn't have that on me, but when I don't have it on me, when I'm at the table, I say, listen, I'm here as the notary just to verify who you say you are, to witness you sign these docs. I will give a general description of the docs and we'll move forward. What I didn't say is generally this lasts about an hour or under an hour, depending on you. All right. So we went through the docs. The guy he had questions about the figures. Well, I thought this. I said, we need to get your lender on the phone. He tried. We couldn't get the lender. 5 minutes later, I tried. We got the lender on the phone. So the lender is going back and forth, and he says, who's the notary? Excuse me. And it was on my phone. I had it on speaker. I said, I am. My name is Jamil. And Jamil? No, my name is Jamil. And so the signer, which was a really cool guy, he goes, no, her name is Jamil, not Janelle, like Camille with a J. I said, that's exactly what I tell people. It's Camille with a J. So, we got the lender on the phone, and so the guy started asking questions about the numbers. Now, I'm going to tell you, like I said, these videos are based on my own experience, all right? the lender, there were some little hiccups with the numbers between the signer and the lender. I let them have that conversation, okay? Because for legality reasons and because I'm a notary, I am not allowed to say a word in that conversation. While he was talking, however, I seen that they were talking about lender credits, which is actually on the Alta statement, which is actually at the bottom of the CD. So while he was talking, I pointed to what the lender was saying. He was like, well, I didn't see that. And I just pointed. This is what, so, I knew what the lender was talking about, but I'm not supposed to say anything. That's between them. But I did point out where the lender was talking about this information, all right? So, as the signing went on, the lender said, well, who's your notary? And like I said earlier, and I go, he says, make sure, pull out that notice of right to, what did he say? He said, pull out the rescission document. That's what he said, which is the notice of right to cancel. And please be very aware. And he started going to this whole spillage. I cut it right there because here's the thing. Oh, since I've been signing, I'm pretty much a listener. Even when I know I'm right in something, or even if I already know something, I listen still. I will still listen. I will still let the lender, because we're an extension of the lender. We're an extension of who's giving us the signing. All right. This particular signing came through a very well-noted title company that I signed up for, who's been steadily giving me business, and it's great. I love working for them. But the lender kind of went on a little tangent, and I said, excuse me, I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the notice of right to cancel. I've already explained that to the signer, which I actually did. I said, I understand that it needs to be today's dates on there. I have my rescission calendar already lined up, so I'm very aware of that document. I see that you have 2 per signer. So I will explain that to them, and I understand, because the dates were already wrong on the document. So apparently it was maybe 4 days ago these documents were drawn up, and I had them cross out the date, put their initials and that sort of thing. So he said, okay, very well, job well done, good job. And I'm like, okay, he's one of these kinds, of lenders. And so, the signer looked at me, he's like, you seem like you know more than the lender. And I said, no, I don't. I'm not a lender. I don't know what a lender does per se. I'm not familiarized with what they do on a daily basis within their job, but I do know these documents, and I do know what debits and credits are. I know what the charges are. I'm very well of of the homeowner fees and the loan fees. I'm very well aware of the CD. And I said, did you not get this document before? Because generally, signers are supposed to get a CD about 2 or 3 days prior to the signing, so they can know what's going on. It's like the meat and potatoes of the signing, right? So, we kind of went on. And so, the other signer, who was also a guy, he was like, well, this is taking so long. And, generally I'm a very nice person. I believe in treating people how you want to be treated. I believe in the tone of how you're talking to people. It really reflects who you are as a person. Okay. So I kind of smiled. I was like, I'm sorry, and I didn't say like, oh, this is on you. You're the reason why. I waited to the end of the signing. And here's why. Because I had a reader, and the guy who was kind of like wanting to read everything, he kind of passed it to, his partner. And he was like, this is this, sign here, sign here. I've already read it. So I was like, you're well within your rights to read these documents, but I'm going to tell you, and I've said this several times while we were signing, I said, you have your own copy and you have 3 days to cancel. Okay. So I can show you where to point and we can move forward. That's not a problem. So he's like, well, no, I kind of want to. I said, that's fine. You can read, because he was my last signing for the day. I didn't have anything else to do. But what should have took 1 hour or under an hour eventually went to 3 hours. All right. That was a first for me. I've never had that happen ever. Okay, ever. So it went from 6 to went to 3.5 hours, 6 to about 9:30. I was very patient, as you are well aware, okay, of the timing. But he was very nice. He was like, well, would you like some water? Would you like a granola bar? Would you like some fruit? I said, no, I'm fine. I just want to make sure that you're comfortable. I want to make sure that you understand what you're signing. But I'm telling you, like I told him again, you have 3 days to cancel. You have your own copy, so you can read this on your own time. But they were so anal about fraud. Okay. They were anal about, well, you know, these signers were the kind of signers where they were, when it came to legalities and somebody else can sign something on a document, I said, no, that's it's highly illegal for a lender to do that. Like, they were asking me all these questions about the deed of trust. And he said, well, I don't understand, like, this can be, I said, look at the typed information on the deed of trust. I just want to make sure that the verbiage on line B for the borrower is correct, because it's going to be recorded at the county recorders. I want to make sure that you understand who the lender is, that you want to understand who's in trust on line D. So we went through the whole thing on the deed of trust, but he wanted to read the deed of trust. This was a first for me, people. Like, it was, deed of trust is standard, maybe 12 to 17 pages, depending on who the lender is. It depends. And, I said, you can read it, but I'm here as a notary just to get your signature, okay? I'm just, I was being as nice as possible. So we eventually got through the signing. At the end of the signing, I told him, and I'm missing out some little pieces here, so bear with me. And he's like, yeah, I just forgot how long these can take, because, he did one a while ago. And so he says, I said, sir, actually, this generally takes an hour. I've been doing these for quite a while. They generally take an hour, but because you want to read the documents, we went ahead and had you read the documents, and I wanted you to feel very comfortable. Well, I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. I didn't know that. I said, it's okay. It's okay. I didn't have another signing, and you guys were good company. It all depends, you guys, on the environment, on the atmosphere. Had I had another signing behind that trust, when I tell you, I would have said, you know what, I have another signing. I'm here as a notary to get the signatures. If there's a problem, you need to read these documents, maybe you need to have another notary come out, because I am on a time schedule here. Okay, so I'm sorry that he said that the lender didn't tell him that an independent contracted notary will come out, and they just didn't get anything explained to them. So I had to explain to them who I was, who I worked for. I went through the whole, some people sometimes don't know a thing. They don't know anything. All right. So I just wanted to leave that information for you today. So, you have to make your own judgment when you have a reader in your presence. Make your own judgment. Do not stick around if you have another signing. That's a no-go. All right. So hopefully you guys got something out of that today. Hopefully it resonated today. I am on my way to Las Vegas. My daughter has a track meet. As you guys know, I'm a track mom too. So, and then Monday I hit the ground running with signings for the week. All right. So take care. If you have any questions, leave them down below. Peace and blessings.